And we are back once again with another one of these small form factor Sierra Tech systems. Somebody actually got on my case about this in the other video. No pun intended with this either. I just realized that. Sierra Tech did not make that case. I know that. But I didn't know who made the case beforehand. But I have found out that this is manufactured by HEC CompuCase. So now you know. And it's in decent condition. I actually think that it's in better shape than the other one. It is missing the optical drive, so that's not a big deal. I can supply that. And like I said, it's in surprisingly good shape. Go ahead and we flip it around here, if you can. It's a little bit on the heavy side. It's a really well-made case. I'm actually really kind of amazed at how well made it really is. And you can see here that it has the power supply, got all the slot blanks installed, and a motherboard, which I will not be keeping for reasons that will become evident when I take the top cover off. Right. With the cover removed, we can see that pretty much everything is here. Here's the power supply. It's a Seasonic 80 plus rated. It's actually a 300 watt power supply, and it fits properly. So that's rather nice. Everything is all hooked up. This motherboard is an Intel DQ45CB. My apologies for this being upside down, but I think you can probably tell. However, as we can see here, there's very definitely a problem. There's a heatsink missing that's supposed to be over that chip. That's the North Bridge. And without that heatsink, that chip will overheat and burn up. I'm not really sure what happened, but given the fact that this is right here, I think what happened is this either broke or somebody just removed it because they wanted a heatsink. I don't know. But either way, the heatsink's not here, so I can't really use it. So I'm going to be pulling out this motherboard and probably just getting rid of it because I found a couple more that do have heatsinks. So if I wanted a DQ45CB, well, I can just use one of those instead of using this. So that's how that is going to be. I'm going to pull out the power supply at the same time just to give myself a little bit more room to work. And also all of these SATA cables. I think there are 3 of them in here, and I only really need 2. So, but we'll do that, and then I'll come back, and I'll get out the motherboard that I'm going to put in here. Here we go. New motherboard is now installed, and if you guessed that it was a DQ35JOE, pat yourself on the back, because you guessed correctly. I got a lot of these things apparently. Now, the one thing that I'm a little iffy about is it looks like this heatsink is broken, and it wasn't like that when I put it away, so I don't know how that happened. Either way, hopefully it still works. I guess we'll find out. All of the connections are hooked up. I bet they're all backwards, but what are you going to do? So now I got to get the optical drive installed, and I know I need to do that because otherwise it won't let me into the BIOS setup. And then I'm going to get the RAM. I've got some RAM to install. It's only 2 gigs, but the existing machine only has 1 gig in it, so 2 gigs is an automatic upgrade anyway. I thought about putting a fan in the front. I don't think I'm going to bother. It shouldn't get too hot. And I think that's it, really. And it's just powering it up and getting the hard drive from the other machine. Alright, here it is. In theory, it is ready to go. So we'll go ahead and we'll grab our little power cord here, plug it in, well, it just turned on. Power light's working. Of course, being a DQ35JOE or an Intel board in general, it takes a little while to complete the power on self-test. Which it looks like it just did so. Try and get into setup here. You can see we have an E8400 2 gigs of RAM installed. The date and time is correct. And I'm going to go ahead and set this all to my liking, then I'm going to go get the other machine. Alright, here is the old system, right here. Our object of interest is down there. Let's pull it out. Hopefully, with any luck, it will boot correctly. I won't have to do any further tweaking. Hope the autofocus will correct itself. Alright, Intel. So let's see, what is it going to boot into? Yeah, this thing's running Ubuntu. An older version of Ubuntu, I don't remember which, 18.04. And so that's going to do it for the hardware portion of setup. So I'm pretty much done with that. I don't have anything else to set up hardware-wise. So now we'll move on to the software side of things. Okay, I've done a little bit of work, but what we're going to do is we are going to run a release upgrade. So that's do release upgrade. This should give us 19.04. If it will actually work. There we go. It's running Bionic right now. So we'll let it do all of that. Well, this is probably the first sign of a problem. So I went ahead and did the upgrade to 1904, and it completed. And then I wanted to upgrade to 1910, which makes sense. But when it did so, the first thing that pops up now is this, for the upgrade. Just in case you can't read that, failure restarting some services for libc upgrade. MySQL is apparently causing a problem. You'll need to start them manually by running blah, although that's not actually the command that you run to do that. But whatever. So, that is probably the first sign of a problem taking place. Whatever. Okay. After dealing with a problem with PHP apparently getting nuked in the upgrade, I have managed to successfully and fully upgrade the system. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the hard drive LED connection, make sure it's actually hooked up right, because I don't see a hard drive LED. Then this thing can go and be installed where it belongs. So it occurred to me that I actually forgot to finish this video. Oops. So, come over here, here's the system. You can see it's running fairly well. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. And that is that. Typing with one hand is not the most fun thing in the world. Here you can see the CPU. So, you know, decent CPU. And that's that. So, thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off, and I hope to see you next time. Till then.